It's a picture-perfect day in Clinton Township for softball as our two rival schools at Chippewa Valley Big Reds and Dakota Cougars clash in MAC Red play. Hello again, everybody. I'm Brad Fetters for Chippewa Valley Cable Television. Welcome you to the softball field here at Chippewa Valley High School as we get set to call the action. These two teams met earlier this season back on April 13th. It was a 11-1 Mercy victory for the Cougars on that day. Let's quickly go through the Dakota starting lineup. Batting leadoff, it'll be Brooklyn Plitz, the second baseman. Jenna Higgins will bat second and play center field. Megan Nectarline will pitch and bat third. Cleaning up will be Gracie Maloney, the shortstop. Alyssa Belcom will play first base and bat fifth. Faith Maloney, the third baseman, will bat sixth. Allison Fluker, the right fielder, will bat seventh. The left fielder, Alexis Oltersdorf, will bat eighth. And Annika Silver, the sophomore catcher, will bat ninth. Chippewa Valley defense lines up this way across the infield. Ella Anglin at third, Abby Palmer at shortstop, Angelina Munson at second base, and Alyssa Bruce at first. The outfield alignment in left field, Cam McDonald. Paige Myrana will control center field, and Kylie Spencer will be in right. Ariana Neal will catch for the Big Reds, and it'll be Morgan Vihar in the circle, getting the start at pitcher. Dakota comes into play 16-1 overall, a perfect 7-0 in MAC Red play. They have a two-game lead over the Romeo Bulldogs, who come into play this afternoon with a 5-2 mark in MAC Red play. The Bulldogs are 8-6 overall. Dakota is coached by Dan Vitelli, the 2021 MAC Coach of the Year. Teams are set to go. Umpires have taken their places. It'll be Brooklyn Plitz to lead things off. The second baseman, a senior this season, will be playing collegiate softball at Oakland University next season. She takes her spot in that left-hand batter's box. First offering from Vihar comes in. Off-speed pitch at the top of the strike zone for a called strike. And we are underway. Crystal clear skies, 70 degrees at first pitch. Wind is blowing out slightly to right center field. Pitch misses low, evens up the count at 1 ball, 1 strike to Plitz. Plitz, Higgins, Nectarline, the top of the order here for Dakota in the top half of the first inning. Pitch misses low, 2 balls, 1 count to Plitz. Vihar glares in, goes into her windup, comes home with it. Plitz swings through, comes up empty. And it'll fill up the count at 3 balls, 2 strikes. Payoff pitch, slap to the shortstop. 1 up, 1 down for the Cougars offensively. It'll bring up the center fielder, sophomore Jenna Higgins.
Now batting the center fielder, number 8, Jenna Higgins.
So the top 2 batters in head coach Dan Vitelli's lineup, both lefties. Higgins slightly open stance, way up in front of that batter's box. First pitch by Vihar misses low. 1 ball, no strikes to count on Higgins. Higgins takes her time, digs in. Takes a called strike to even up the count at 1 ball, 1 strike. Cougar bench making some noise here in the early parts of this ball game. Vihar comes home, off-speed pitch, finds the corner of the strike zone. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count now on Higgins. One down for the Cougars. Megan Nectarline, the pitcher, waits in the on-deck circle. Pitch misses up and away. Evens up the count at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Fouled away on top of the Dakota dugout. Dakota's lone loss this season, a 3-2 loss on April 26th to Detroit Country Day. Since then, it has been smooth sailing for this Cougar team. Pitch misses up and in. Fills up the count. So back-to-back full counts for Vihar. Got Brooklyn Plitz to line out softly to the shortstop, Abby Palmer. Here comes the payoff pitch now to Higgins. Slugged on, straight away left field. Cam McDowell takes a couple steps into the gap to make the catch. 2 up, 2 down. I mentioned the breeze is blowing out to right center field. So McDonald had to battle that just a bit there, but came away with the catch, and it'll leave things up now to Megan Nectarline. Nectarline going to get the start in the circle this afternoon. Phenomenal pitcher and a really good bat as well, right in the middle of this Cougar lineup. Nectarline will be playing softball next season at Kent State. One 0 pitch, catches the strike zone. 1 ball, 1 strike, the count on Nectarline. Vihar comes home with the 1-1, check swing, did she go? The appeal, first base umpire says no. Nectarline did not offer at the 1-1 pitch, so 2-1 the count on the senior pitcher. Nectarline takes a look at it for a called strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes to count now on her. Vihar quickly on the rubber, comes home, misses high. So all 3 batters now for Dakota have gotten to full counts. See what Nectarline can do with this pitch. Vihar looks down at her wrist, gets the pitch call, comes home with it, misses low. Base on balls, first base runner of the game for Dakota. Next up for the Cougars will be the cleanup hitter, Gracie Maloney. Maloney getting the start at shortstop this afternoon. As Nectarline will get lifted for a courtesy runner. Pitcher and catcher allowed that privilege. Dakota in their road blue jerseys with gray baseball pants. Chippewa Valley in their home whites with bright red socks. Corner infielders playing the line. There goes the base runner. Throw gets sent into center field. She's going to try to dig in for 3. She gets hit in the back with the throw from the center fielder. So that's Julia Nowicki with the stolen base. That was something the Cougars took advantage of in game 1 between these 2 teams. In fact, Dakota stole 10 bases against Chippewa Valley back in April. Nowicki appears to be okay. Field ump asking to make sure she's okay. She nods her head yes. Head coach Dan Vitale gives up the thumbs up, and we are back to live action. There was a called strike on that stolen base attempt, so no ball, 1 count, strike, 1 strike count to Maloney. Nowicki, the base runner, at third. Maloney swings through and misses. No balls, 2 strikes to count on the cleanup hitter. Opportunity here for the Cougars to strike first. Vihar trying to get herself out of trouble. Maloney lifts one to straightaway center field. Myrana goes back a couple steps in front of the warning track to make the catch. Cougars threaten but do not score. We head to the home half of the first inning. Chippewa Valley coming to bat.
This is a message to raise awareness of the dangers of youth use of alcohol and other drugs. These are some facts about youth prescription opioid medication misuse from the National Institute on Drug Abuse. Teen abuse of prescription opioid medications has declined steadily over past years. However, young adults 18 to 24 are the largest group abusing prescription medication, including opioids, medications prescribed for ADHD, and anti-anxiety medication. Those that abuse prescription opioids are at greater risk of becoming addicted, of negative life and health consequences, of overdose, and death. Prescription opioids are chemically related to heroin. Nearly 80% of people addicted to heroin started first by abusing opioid medications. Teens that misuse prescription medication get it from their friends, from unsecured medication at their home, or from the home of a relative. Lock up, properly dispose, and never share medication. For more information on the abuse of opioid medication, visit drugabuse.gov.
Welcome back. Continuing coverage here on Chippewa Valley Cable Television. Let's meet the starting lineup now for the Chippewa Valley Big Reds under the guidance of their head coach, Mike Matway. Leading things off will be the center fielder, Paige Myrana. Batting second will be the right fielder, Kylie Spencer. Batting third will be Abby Palmer, the shortstop. The cleanup hitter will be the first baseman, Alyssa Bruce. Batting fifth will be the left fielder, Cam McDonald. Batting sixth will be the pitcher, Morgan Vihar. Batting seventh will be the second baseman, Angelina Munson. Batting eighth will be the third baseman, Ella Anglin. And batting ninth, the catcher, Ariana Neal. As for the Cougar defense, in the infield, the Maloneys will patrol the left side of the infield with Faith Maloney playing third and Gracie Maloney patrolling shortstop. Brooklyn Plitz will be the second baseman. Alyssa Belcom will man first. In the outfield, the left fielder will be Alexis Oltersdorf. Jenna Higgins will be in center field, and Allison Fluker will be in right. Annika Silver will be the catcher today, and Megan Nectarline will be in the circle pitching this afternoon for the Dakota Cougars. Chippewa Valley Big Reds coming to play this afternoon with an 8-10 record, 2-4 in MAC Red play. Last time these two teams hooked up, Chippewa Valley was held to just one hit. That belonged to Abby Palmer. Palmer also had the lone RBI in the game. As I mentioned, Dakota won the first game by the final score of 11-1, a mercy rule game that ended in the fifth. Megan Nectarline, mentioned, will be taking her talents to Kent State next season. Myrana takes a look at a called strike. Myrana, a three-sport athlete here at Chippewa Valley, also plays volleyball and basketball. Leads the team in hits this season from that leadoff position. 27 knocks on the season, but is quickly in an 0-2 hole. Quite a contrast in styles between our two pitchers today. Nectarline brings the heat. Comes home with that fastball. That's going to be a base hit just over the third base. Big wide turn at first base. Myrana back in ahead of the throw. A leadoff single, her 28th hit of the season. And Chippewa Valley off to a good start. And brings up the right fielder, Kylie Spencer. 387 average on the season. Narrow stance. She squares around a bunt, takes a called strike at the knees. Faith Maloney a couple steps in front of the third base. Middle of the infield plays straight up. Alyssa Belcom charging in as well. I'll say Spencer went around on that bunt attempt, so she's quickly down. No balls, 2 strikes. One would think more than likely they will take the bunt off here. Nectarline comes home with the off-speed pitch. And they'll say Spencer went around for the strikeout. First out of the inning recorded via the strikeout. And brings up Abby Palmer now, the shortstop. Second on the Chippewa Valley team in hits with 25. Mentioned Palmer had the lone hit last time these two teams met. Takes a look at a called strike at the knees. Nectarline pounding that lower half of the strike zone. Alyssa Bruce, the cleanup hitter, and first baseman waits on deck for the Big Reds. High pitch swung through and missed. No balls, 2 strikes to count on Palmer. Irana remains at first base. She led off the inning with a clean single down the third baseline. Back-to-back strikeouts. The throw into second base too late. Stolen base for Myrana. Puts a runner in scoring position now with 2 outs. And will leave things up to Alyssa Bruce. Bruce carrying a .393 average. Digs into that right-hand batter's box. Swings through and lifts it over the protective netting behind home plate. Takes a glare down at Mike Matway, her head coach. Gets the play call off of the sheet that he keeps on his left arm. Unable to check the swing on that high pitch. Nectarline comes in with the off-speed pitch, misses low. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count on the cleanup hitter. Silver looks over at her visitor's bench, gets a pitch call, fouled straight back once again by Bruce. So Bruce staying alive here, 2 down in the first. Opportunity for the Big Reds to take the lead here in the first inning. Runner in scoring position is Myrana. Nectarline looking to leave her there, and she will do just that. As Bruce looks at 1 too many, goes down looking. Nectarline ends up striking out the side as they strand Myrana at second base. Through 1, no score. Top of the second inning coming up next right here on Chippewa Valley Cable Television.
Parents. Many teens today mistakenly believe that vaping decreases anxiety and calms them down.
Vaping nicotine or THC marijuana can actually increase feelings of anxiety and depression.
Vaping can become addictive.
Talk with your child or teen about the dangers of vaping.
If you don't talk with them, who will?
It'll be the first baseman, Alyssa Balcom, to lead things off here, top of the second inning. Balcom really supplies the power in the middle of this Cougar lineup. Homered and drove in 3 last time these two teams met up back in April. Balcom, one of the top RBI leaders in this Cougar lineup. Check swing, foul ball. Vihar bounces a pitch up to the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike the count on the first baseman, Belcom. Belcom will join Brooklyn Plitz next season at Oakland University. Takes a look at that fastball. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count now on Belcom. Belcom, slightly crouched stance, hot shot down the third baseline. Englund unable to handle it. Big wide turn at first base, but Belcom will hold there with a leadoff single. First hit of the ball game for Dakota, second base runner of the game. Brings up the 6th place hitter and the 3rd baseman, Faith Maloney. Swing and a miss. Senior Maloney will be playing for the Cardinals next season, Saginaw Valley State. Takes a look at a pitch on the outer half of the plate. No balls, 2 strikes to count on Maloney. Vihar missing up and away. Allison Fluker, the senior right fielder, waiting on deck. Swung on, looping shot to straightaway center field. Ironic comes in a couple steps to make the catch. First out of the inning.
Now then, the right fielder, number 3, Allison Fluker.
Vihar comes home with it, swung on, fouled straight back by Fluker. The left fielder, Alexis Oltersdorf, to follow. 0-1 pitch misses up. 1 ball, 1 strike the count on Fluker. Popped up behind home plate. Ariana Neal runs out of real estate. Harmless foul ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count now on Fluker. Cougar offense looking to make some noise here with 1 down in the top of the 2nd inning. Vihar gets Fluker to swing through. The runner takes off for second base. It's going to be a strike him out, throw him out, double play. And that will do it for the top of the 2nd inning. Chippewa Valley flexing their muscles on defense. We'll head to the bottom of the 2nd inning, scoreless.
Parents, your children's brains are still developing.
The brains of children and teens continue to develop until they are in their mid-20s and can be damaged if they use alcohol, marijuana, vape products, or other drugs.
Damage can include lifelong problems with memory, learning, behavior, and can result in addiction.
Talk early and talk often to your children and teens about these dangers.
This message is from the Chippewa Valley Coalition for Youth and Family.
Megan Nectarline back in the circle for her 2nd inning of work. She also got the start in the first matchup, went 2 innings, struck out 6. Belcom eventually took over for her. Went 4 innings in that game and struck out 8. So between the 2 pitchers for Dakota last game between these 2 rival schools, they combined for 14 strikeouts. Nectarline struck out 3 in the first. So well on their way to a huge strikeout total once again this afternoon. And when you want to talk about big strikeout totals, we have to mention what Gracie Maloney did earlier this season on May 1st. She struck out 21 batters. Now you might be saying to yourself, well, there's only 21 outs in a game. Yeah, that's right. She struck out 21 Grosse Pointe North batters. She struck out she recorded every single out via the strikeout in a 9-1 win over the Norsemen. Just a dominating performance out of Gracie Maloney. Maloney at shortstop this afternoon. It's going to be a strikeout, 4th of the game as she gets Cam McDonald.
Now batting the pitcher, number 14, Morgan Vihar.
Brings up the pitcher, Morgan Vihar. Takes a strike at the knees. Clearly where Nectarline has kind of picked her spot this afternoon. Holds the ball on her hip, now goes to the glove, comes home with it. Just straight gas poured past Vihar. She swings and misses. Nectarline comes home with the 0-2 pitch, a little riser. Drills Vihar on the elbow, and she will take first base. So they will lift Vihar, and we will have a courtesy runner now down at first base. Rachel Kraus will be that courtesy runner. Brings up Angelina Munson, 333 hitter, but more importantly, an on-base percentage of 500. So Munson getting on base in half of her plate appearances this season. Home plate umpire having a discussion with Dan Vitale. Not quite sure what that's about. So one out here in the bottom of the second inning. Second base runner of the game for the Big Reds. Munson cuts through it. Nectarline pounds the ball in the glove a couple times. Now climbs on top of the rubber. Strike at the letters, quickly 0-2. Another strikeout, this time of Munson. 5th strikeout of the game for Megan Nectarline. 4 coming via the swinging strike. We'll leave things up to the third baseman, Ella Anglin, 356 hitter. She swings on, pops one up to the shortstop. Maloney camps under it and makes the catch for the 3rd out of the inning. Cruising right along. We head to the 3rd inning here on Chippewa Valley Cable Television with no score.
Parents. Many teens mistakenly believe that the THC in marijuana is a safe drug.
They don't know today's marijuana is a highly potent drug and that using it can result in
harm to the developing brain, learning problems, anxiety and depression, and can lead to addiction.
Talk with your child or teen about the dangers of marijuana use. If you don't talk with them, who will?
It'll be 8-9-1 for the Dakota Cougars here in the third inning. Altersdorf, Silver, and Plitz scoreless after 2 innings of play. Dakota held to just 1 hit in the ball game. Squaring around to bunt and coming up to empty, Altersdorf. Pitch misses low. Good block there by the catcher, Ariana Neal. Altersdorf sends this one to straightaway center. Myrana into the left center gap to make that catch. Second put out for Myrana. First out of the inning. Brings up the 9th place batter, the sophomore catcher, Annika Silver. Silver takes a look at one low and inside. Swung on, foul down the right field line and out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike the count on Silver. Silver takes a practice cut, takes a look at her bat, now digs into that right-hand batter's box. Slight crouch to her stance, takes a look at a pitch up and away. This Dakota team made it all the way to the state title game a season ago, losing to Allen Park 5-0 in that title game. Swung on, line shot right to the first baseman, Bruce. 2 up, 2 down. Line up, turns over now to the very top. The leadoff hitter, Brooklyn Plitz. Brooklyn, a slapper in that left-hand batter's box. Swings through that one. Big Reds defensively guarding the lines at the corners. Middle of the infield plays straight up. And she's going to loop one to shallow left. Diving effort there by Abby Palmer comes up empty. Plitz with the single. Second hit of the game for Dakota. And he'll bring it up Jenna Higgins, the sophomore center fielder. Runner takes off, Deeks to second. Mentioned this Cougar team does like to steal bases. Can't generate anything at the plate. Perhaps you can generate something using your speed. Taking off again, Plitz will have to return to first base after the pitch was fouled away. Runner takes off again, fouled away. That will be the third out of the inning. I believe they said Brooklyn Plitz might have taken off too soon from first base. So that will be the final out of the inning. We'll head to the bottom of the third here on Chippewa Valley Cable Television.
Parents. Many teens today mistakenly believe that vaping decreases anxiety and calms them down.
Vaping nicotine or THC marijuana can actually increase feelings of anxiety and depression.
Vaping can become addictive.
Talk with your child or teen about the dangers of vaping.
If you don't talk with them, who will?
Bottom of the third inning, Chippewa Valley looking to strike here for the very first runner of our ball game. 0-0 the score. And that indeed was the call in that last half of the inning. They're going to say Brooklyn Plitz took off too soon from first base. So she becomes the third out of the inning with Jenna Higgins at the plate. So Higgins will be at the plate the next time Dakota comes to bat. Catcher Neal leading things off here for the Big Reds. It'll be 9-1-2. Big Reds offensively have been held to one hit. That was Myrana back in the first. Led off the game with a single. Neal swings through and misses that. Nectarline has been dominating at times throughout this game. Already has racked up 5 strikeouts. Misses up. Neal makes contact through the hole, up the middle, and a base hit for the 9th place batter. So now Neal will get lifted for a courtesy runner. It'll be Tessa Klein. So Klein, the courtesy runner for the catcher, down at first base. And it'll be Myrana now at the plate. Already 1 for 1 with a clean single. Also has a stolen base in this game. Would be a huge lift for the Big Reds if they're able to scratch across the first run of this game. First pitch misses low and away. Myrana looking to slap. Instead, takes a pitch low and away. 2 balls, no strikes to count on the center fielder. Myrana carries a .628 average into play this afternoon. Just phenomenal numbers. Already made mention, she leads the team in hits with 28. As that ball pops out of the glove of Silver, it'll allow the courtesy runner Tessa Klein to scamper down to second base. And all of a sudden, the Big Reds in business, an opportunity to strike first. Good hitters count here on Myrana. 3 balls, no strikes. Taking all the way, called strike. 3 balls, 1 strike, the count now on the senior center fielder. Myrana rolls one over to the second baseman. It's a very productive out as it allows the courtesy runner Tessa Klein to move over to third base. Just 1 out now, and it'll be Kylie Spencer. So the put out goes 4-3. Spencer struck out. One of 3 strikeouts in the first inning for Megan Nectarline. Spencer swings a miss on the first offering. Gotta feel that this start of this game has been a massive confidence boost for a Big Red team that has been playing much better as of late. Spencer squares around a bunt, pulls a bat back, and takes a look at a pitch that misses up. 1 ball, 1 strike now the count to Spencer. Klein, the runner at third. Spencer drops down the bunt, but can't get it to go in fair territories. It spins just wide of the first baseline. It goes down as a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes now the count on Spencer. Looking ahead to the top of the 4th inning, it will be 2-3-4, the heart of the Dakota lineup. Spencer lays off that pitch. 2 balls, 2 strikes the count. Spencer holds that bat just behind her back shoulder and fouls it away. Doing battle now. Nectarline and Spencer. Big Reds looking to push the first run of the ball game across the plate. Abby Palmer waits on deck. Nectarline, straight heat. Spencer, second out of the inning, second strikeout of Spencer, 6th strikeout of the afternoon for Nectarline. So it in fact will leave things up to Abby Palmer, second on the team in hits with 25, a .446 average. Swing and a miss. Off speed. Absolutely fooled Palmer that time. See if Nectarline can put Palmer away. Fouled straight back into that protective padding behind home plate. Real old school feel to the softball diamond here at Chippewa Valley. Concrete blocks for dugouts as well as fencing behind home plate. That's why you have that protective pad back there. This one's fouled straight up and will get out of play. So Palmer staying alive. Chokes up on the bat, trying to make contact. Any little sort of hit will play our first runner of the game. 2 outs. 2 strikes the count on Palmer. Nectarline comes home and gets Palmer swinging. Big Reds threaten. Get a runner to third base, but can't bring her home. We are through 3 innings of play. Dakota, nothing. Chippewa Valley, nothing. Top of the 4th coming up next right here on Chippewa Valley Cable Television.
This is a message to raise awareness of the dangers of youth use of alcohol and other drugs. These are some facts about youth prescription opioid medication misuse from the National Institute on Drug Abuse. Teen abuse of prescription opioid medications has declined steadily over past years. However, young adults 18 to 24 are the largest group abusing prescription medication, including opioids, medications prescribed for ADHD, and anti-anxiety medication. Those that abuse prescription opioids are at greater risk of becoming addicted, of negative life and health consequences, of overdose, and death. Prescription opioids are chemically related to heroin, Nearly 80% of people addicted to heroin started first by abusing opioid medications. Teens that misuse prescription medication get it from their friends, from unsecured medication at their home, or from the home of a relative. Lock up, properly dispose, and never share medication. For more information on the abuse of opioid medication, visit drugabuse.gov.
Road half of the fourth inning. Higgins, Nectarline, Maloney due up for the Cougars. Higgins, the center fielder, flew out to the left fielder, McDonald, in her first plate appearance. Vihar back to work. Slow dribbler to Vihar, out of her reach. Gonna be a tough play for the second baseman, Munson. Shoveled the throw over to Bruce, but Higgins a little bit too quick. Infield single for Higgins to lead off the fourth inning. And now we get to the real heart of this Dakota offense. Nectarline. The pitcher walked, was lifted for the courtesy runner who came around and stole a base. Nectarline, deep fly, and it's gone. Megan Nectarline with the 2-run homer gives the Cougars the 2-0 lead. Nectarline waiting on the very first pitch and took it to left center, riding that wind out. And the very first runs of the ball game belong to the Cougars, driven in by Nectarline on the 2-run shot. So it took until the fourth inning, but finally the Cougars on the board. They threatened in the first, threatened in the third, stranded a couple base runners, and finally played a couple here via the home run by Nectarline. Nectarline helping out her cause. Maloney fouls this one straight back. You mentioned Gracie Maloney's 21 strikeout performance. Only a junior, but she has decided she's going to play softball at North Texas. The Mean Green. Off-speed pitch. Ooh, boy, tough pitch to take. Good eye out of Maloney. Maloney goes down and gets it, rolls it down to the third baseman, Anglin. Fires it across the diamond to Bruce for the first out of the inning. Alyssa Belcom will be the next batter for Dakota. Singled and was caught trying to steal second in the top of the second inning. So 1 for 1 in the ball game is Belcom. Goes down and gets that one, fouls it over top the protective netting and out of play. Faith Maloney on deck for Dakota. Pitch misses low. Vihar, another long fly ball to left field, and it's gone! A home run for Alyssa Belcom. The second dinger of the inning. extends the lead to 3-0 for the Dakota Cougars. A solo homer. Ball just kept carrying out to left field. McDonald looked up and watched it sail over the fence. So all of a sudden, the Dakota offense starting to flex their muscles. Entire infield going to come in and have a chat with Morgan Vihar, try to calm her down. Only one out here in the inning. 3 runs in on 3 hits. Off-speed pitch to start the at-bat off to Faith Maloney. Maloney flew out the center fielder Myrana in her lone plate appearance. Ball skips up. Good block by Neal. 1 ball, 1 strike to count on the senior third baseman. Maloney getting some instructions from her head coach. Maloney, deep fly. Myrana, couple steps back to make the catch in center. Second out of the inning, and will leave things up to Allison Fluker.
Number 3, Allison Fluker.
Hot shot down the third baseline. Anglin made a play, but comes up empty. Single off the bat of Fluker. Chippewa Valley bullpen heating up. Relief pitcher getting ready. Lilia Vernick getting some tune-up tosses in along the first baseline. Runner takes off for second, no throw. Fluker unsure if she should slide or not. Kind of made for an awkward looking play at second base, but a stolen base either way for Fluker puts her in scoring position. And Fluker now heads for third. This time she does slide and gets in ahead of the tag by England. So back-to-back stolen bases puts Fluker at third. Will now score easily on any sort of base hit here by Oltersdorf. Oltersdorf slashes one into left field. RBI single off the bat of Alexis Oltersdorf. Plates the 4th run of the inning, and the Cougars lead it 4-0.
Number 19, Annika Silver.
Annika Silver, 8th batter of the inning for the Cougars offensively. Runner takes off for second. Throw comes in just wide of second base on the first base side of the bag. Middle of the Big Red defense unable to get any sort of tag down, so a stolen base for Oltersdorf. Coach Vitale starting to put things in motion here for the Cougars. Oltersdorf this time squares around a bunt. Unable to pull the bat back in time. So it's a called strike. Silver, rather, the catcher at the plate right now. Takes a couple practice swings. Oltersdorf, the runner, down at second base. Silver puts a lot of that weight on that back foot, pops it up, and the catcher, Neal, able to make the catch, but damage done in the form of 4 runs for the Cougars including 2 home runs off the bats of Nectarline and Alyssa Belcom. Cougars lead it 4-0. Big Reds coming to bat in the bottom of the 4th.
Parents. Many teens today mistakenly believe that vaping decreases anxiety and calms them down.
Vaping nicotine or THC marijuana can actually increase feelings of anxiety and depression.
Vaping can become addictive.
Talk with your child or teen about the dangers of vaping.
If you don't talk with them, who will?
Four, 5, 6 coming to bat here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Big Reds finally find themselves trailing in this game, 4-0 our score. Chippewa Valley, no runs on 2 hits. They've stranded 3 base runners in this game. Megan Nectarline, the Cougar pitcher this afternoon, has been flat out dominant. 7 strikeouts through 3 innings. Picked up 3 strikeouts in the first, 2 in the second, and 2 in the third. This is up and away to Alyssa Bruce. Bruce, the first baseman, struck out looking back in the first, one of those 7 strikeout victims of Megan Nectarline. Nectarline glares in at her catcher, Silver. Fouled straight back by Bruce. Both of these teams compete out of the back red. I mentioned Dakota at the top of the standings, Romeo in second. And Bruce strikes out for the very first out of the bottom of the 4th.
Batting number 12, Pam McDonald.
Grosse Pointe North 4-2 in MAC red play. That's good enough for 3rd place, 2.5 games behind Dakota. Anchor Bay at 3-2, 3 games behind the Cougars. And then Chippewa Valley hanging in there at 2-4, 4.5 games behind Dakota. Eisenhower Eagles looking for their very first win in MAC red play as they carry an 0-7 record in MAC red play this season. Cam McDonald looks at a pitch at the letters for a called strike. And that's another strikeout for Nectarline. Just continues to rack them up. I mentioned it was a dominating pitching performance with Nectarline and Belcom combining to strike out 14 Big Reds. Back on April 13th over at Dakota. And Nectarline has really picked up where she left off last time. 9 strikeouts already. Vihar hit by a pitch. Looks at that fastball. Vihar, a 286 batter. Same spot, same result, called strike. Swung on, popped up. Gonna be a tough play. Right fielder Fluker comes in to make the catch. Nectarline sets him down in order. We head to the 5th inning with the Cougars in front, 4-0.
Parents. Many teens mistakenly believe that the THC in marijuana is a safe drug.
They don't know today's marijuana is a highly potent drug and that using it can result in
Harm to the developing brain, learning problems, anxiety and depression, and can lead to addiction.
talk with your child or teen about the dangers of marijuana use. If you don't talk with them, who will?
Top of the 5th inning, pitching change. Lilia Vernick into the game, replacing Morgan Vihar. Vihar goes 4 innings, gives up 4, all of them earned. On 7 hits, struck out 1 and walked 1. Vernick is greeted by the top of the Cougar batting order. Going for the slap there and just unable to keep it fair. Plitz, Higgins, Nectar line. Plitz 1 for 2. A single and a line out in her 2 plate appearances. Vernick misses low, bounces up to home plate. All things considered, been a well-played game between the 2 teams. Chippewa Valley plagued by the 2 bombs hit. Hot shot down to the hot corner. Terrific play there by Anglin to retire Plitz.
Now batting number 8, Jenna Higgins.
Put out goes 5-3. Higgins led off the 4th inning with a single, eventually came around to score on the 2-run homer by Nectarline. First run of the game for the Cougars. Higgins batting, 1 for 2. Also flew out to the left fielder, Cam McDonald. Vernick, off-speed pitch. Coach Vitale not agreeing with that call. Thought it was way too low. Not going to win that argument with the blue behind home plate. This Dakota team won a state title back in 2017. That Cougar squad finished the year 36-2. We mentioned it because this Dakota team has only lost 1 ball game this season, 16-1. Off-speed pitch misses away. Strike called to Higgins. Swung on. Whoa, boy, look out. Karam's off that back wall. Dakota, 4 runs on 7 hits. Big Reds, no runs on just 2 hits. Another foul ball straight into the Dakota dugout. Look out. Keeping her teammates loose along that third base line. Unique situation where the road team is in the third base dugout. Riser misses up. Base on balls to Higgins and will bring up the ever dangerous Megan Nectar line.
Now batting number 9, Megan Nectarline.
Wind just continues to blow out. Nectarline, the big blast of the game thus far. The 2-run homer to left center field. And ball skips up to home plate and will allow Higgins to go down to second base. Wild pitch out of the right hand of Vernick. Now Higgins in scoring position. Cougars, an opportunity to blow this game wide open. And it's a clean single up the middle. And will plate Higgins. RBI single off the bat of Nectarline, her third RBI of the game. Higgins' second run of the game. The Cougars now lead it 5-0.
Now batting is number 11, Gracie Maloney.
Gracie Maloney looking for her first hit of the game. 0 for 2, a fly out and a ground out. Pitch misses out of the zone, too high. Maloney, Belcom, Maloney. The runner takes off for second base. Vernick struggling to find the strike zone in relief. Pitch 2 misses low. 3 balls, no strikes to count on the shortstop. One out defensively here for the Big Reds in the top of the 5th. Maloney getting ready to discard the bat, gets called back by the home plate umpire. As that pitch did find the strike zone. 3 balls, 1 strike now, the count on Gracie. And will finally draw that base on ball. Second free pass offered by Vernick here in this 5th inning. So 2 runners on, and we will get a conference in the circle as Mike Matway, the head coach at Chippewa Valley, is going to want to talk things over with his relief pitcher, Lilia Vernick. Upcoming schedule for the Dakota Cougars includes road contests against Elginak. They return home to take on Lake Orion before going back on the road to take on MAC Red opponent Utica Eisenhower before back-to-back home contests with Marysville and Grosse Pointe North. Eisenhower, Marysville, and Grosse Pointe North. All 3 of those games on back-to-back days next week. Alyssa Belcom, solo home run in the 4th inning. Both runners take off. Uh-oh, some confusion. And Chippewa Valley will elect to just allow Gracie Maloney to go back to first base. Maloney taking off for second hard. The courtesy runner at second base didn't break for third. A fly ball, straightaway left. McDonald squeezes it for the second out of the inning. Leave things up to Faith Maloney. Maloney looking for her first hit of the afternoon, 0 for 2. Fly out victim both times to the center fielder, Myrana. Takes a look at a strike at the letters. Good hard cut by Maloney, but quickly down 0-2. Conversation between head coach Mike Matway and Vernick seems to have worked. Maloney slugs it. Shallow left field. It's going to fall in for a single. Ball doesn't get cut off. 1 run in. And Gracie Maloney will head back to third base. Call it an RBI single for Faith Maloney.
If you want to run over, report to the start. Once again, ladies, from the varsity race.
2 runs in here in the 5th, extends the Cougar lead to 6-0.
Now batting number 3, Allison Switzer. We're going to get all the JVs, and then we'll rerun the girls. I'm sorry for the mix-up.
First pitch misses low. Both Maloney's on base. Gracie down at third, Faith at second. Swing and a miss out in front of that pitch as Vernick pulls the string. Fluker, 1 for 2, singled, stole 2 bases, eventually came around to score back in the 4th. Fluker, hot shot to the second baseman, Munson, but damage done. Couple hits, 2 runs in the 5th. After 4.5 innings, the Cougars lead it 6-0.
This is a message to raise awareness of the dangers of youth use of alcohol and other drugs. These are some facts about youth prescription opioid medication misuse from the National Institute on Drug Abuse. Teen abuse of prescription opioid medications has declined steadily over past years. However, young adults 18 to 24 are the largest group abusing prescription medication, including opioids, medications prescribed for ADHD, and anti-anxiety medication. Those that abuse prescription opioids are at greater risk of becoming addicted, of negative life and health consequences, of overdose, and death. Prescription opioids are chemically related to heroin. Nearly 80% of people addicted to heroin started first by abusing opioid medications. Teens that misuse prescription medication get it from their friends, from unsecured medication at their home, or from the home of a relative. Lock up, properly dispose, and never share medication. For more information on the abuse of opioid medication, visit drugabuse.gov.
It'll be the bottom third of the Chippewa Valley batting order here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Some defensive changes for the Cougars include Kylie Phelan at third base and Julia Nowicki now playing shortstop. Angelina Munson, Ella Anglin, and Ariana Neal to bat for the Big Reds. They trail 6-0. So glad you decided to tune us in here on Chippewa Valley Cable Television. A reminder, if you've missed any portion of today's varsity softball game between our 2 rival schools, catch the full broadcast on YouTube. Search Chippewa Valley Cable Sports. All of our programming is available to you on the YouTube channel. Make sure you click the subscribe button. Get email notifications of when all of our content is available to you online. That includes a couple graduations that'll be coming up in about a month's time. Kind of put the finishing touches on another successful school year. Big Red offense held to just 2 hits in this ball game, both of them singles, as Nectarline just continues to pound the strike zone. And Munson goes down. Another strikeout. 10th strikeout of the game now for Nectarline. Ella Anglin popped out to the shortstop, Gracie Maloney. Swing and a miss. High heat out of the right hand of Nectarline. Ariana Neal, the catcher, waits on deck. Off-speed pitch misses low. Pop up. First baseman may have a play. Nope, it's over her head. That's Katie Rusher down at first base now. So Alyssa Balcom has been removed from this game. England takes a look down, and her head coach now gets some last second advice from him. Another strikeout as they just continue to pile up. Really impressive stuff this afternoon from Megan Nectarline. It'll leave things up to Ariana Neal. One of the 2 Chippewa Valley Big Red hits in this ball game. Paige Myrana has the other one. Neal takes a look at a pitch on the outer black for a called strike. Nectarline has retired 8 Big Red batters in a row. Swing and a miss. Staying alive. Neal fouls it straight back. Off-speed pitch misses out of the zone. Looking ahead to the top of the 6th inning, it'll be the 8-9-1 spots in the Cougar batting lineup. Another foul ball off the bat of Ariana Neal. Nectarline looking to put her away. Comes home with the pitch. Misses low. Payoff pitch on its way. Hammered to the newly replaced shortstop, Nowicki. Unable to handle it cleanly. Call it an error on the shortstop. So the catcher Neal gets replaced by a courtesy runner. And Paige Myrana, leadoff hitter at the plate now. 1 for 2, a single and a stolen base. Grounded out in her second plate appearance. Tessa Klein, the courtesy runner down at first base. Irana looking for the slap, comes up empty. Quickly in an 0-2 hole. Irana lofts one to left field. Left fielder there to make the catch for the third out of the inning. Head to the top of the 6th inning. The Cougars in front, 6-0.
Parents. Many teens today mistakenly believe that vaping decreases anxiety and calms them down.
Vaping nicotine or THC marijuana can actually increase feelings of anxiety and depression.
Vaping can become addictive.
Talk with your child or teen about the dangers of vaping.
If you don't talk with them, who will?
Top of the 6th inning, Cougars in control, 6-0. Sydney Puffpath now batting for Alexis Oltersdorf. Puffpath taking over in right field. Allison Fluker moving over to left. So wholesale changes for Dakota, late stages of this game. We'll try to bring them to you when possible. Isabella Krager in the on-deck circle, so it looks like Krager will bat for silver. Puffpath swings through that one. Dakota, 4 runs in the 4th, 2 in the 5th to extend the lead. Puffpath towards the center of the diamond. Shortstop Abby Palmer quickly over. 1 up, 1 down. So will be Isabella Krager to hit here for Annika Silver. Pop-up out of play. So 3 RBI for Nectarline, 1 for Balcom, 1 for Faith Maloney, and 1 for Oltersdorf. Fly ball to straightaway center field. Irana there. 2 up, 2 down. Vernick really kind of settled into a groove. She issued a base on balls to Gracie Maloney, which got a visit in the circle from her head coach, Mike Matway. And since then, she has retired 4 of 5, single off the bat. And keep the inning alive. Runner takes off for second. Fouled away. So that's Plitz's second hit of the ball game. Both of them singles. 2 for 3 now as the second baseman. She takes off for second again, and we'll get a clean stolen base. Jenna Higgins in that left-hand batter's box has been on base twice. Has come around to score both of those times as well. Pitch misses low. Vernick comes home with it. Higgins swings through and misses. Tried to golf that one out of the dirt. Ever dangerous Megan Nectarline on deck. See if she gets an opportunity to bat here. Single off the bat of Higgins down the third baseline will allow Plitz to scamper home. Julia Sandals freshly into the game instead of Higgins. I apologize. So Julia Sandals into the game. Comes up with the clean single. And plates Plitz for the 7th run of the game. 5 different Cougars have driven in runs here. Seven nothing Cougars in front. Sandals down at second, took the extra base on the throw home. Off-speed pitch misses up. Two down, 1 run in. And it's Nectarline to the right center gap up against the fence. Will plate Sandals quite easily. Nectarline will hold at second with an RBI double. Some really good swings of the bat this afternoon by Megan Nectarline. Her 4th RBI of the game. Has been dominating in the circle as well.
Now batting for the Cougars, number 6, Celia Nowicki.
8th run of the game, Cougars in front, 8-0. So it'll be Julia Nowicki. Took over defensively for Gracie Maloney, her first at bat of the ball game. And she's quickly behind, no balls, 2 strikes. Nowicki strikes out swinging. The Cougars do a little more damage as they play 2 more runners. After 5.5 innings of play, Dakota in front, 8-0. Big Reds coming to bat, looking for their very first run of the game.
Parents, your children's brains are still developing.
The brains of children and teens continue to develop until they are in their mid-20s and can be damaged if they use alcohol, marijuana, vape products, or other drugs.
Damage can include lifelong problems with memory, learning, behavior, and can result in addiction.
Talk early and talk often to your children and teens about these dangers.
This message is from the Chippewa Valley Coalition for Youth and Family.
Bottom of the 6th inning. Big Reds running out of opportunities to get themselves back into this ball game. Krager remains in the game at the catcher's position. Fluker, Sandals, and Puff Path in the outfield. Kraus freshly into the game in right field, took over defensively and now takes over for Spencer in the batting lineup. And goes down swinging for the first out here in the 6th.
Now batting number 3.
Chippewa Valley, no runs on 2 hits. Dakota, 8 runs on 12 hits. Abby Palmer, the 3rd place batter in this Big Red lineup, looking to do some damage here in the 6th inning. Instead pops it up. Second baseman calls for it and makes the catch. 2 up, 2 down. So Megan Nectarline talked about all the damage she has done at the plate. She is a triple shy of the cycle. Has a home run, a single, a double, has a base on ball. So she has been on base all 4 times. Her spot in the lineup has come around to score twice. She's driven in 4 runs. And oh, by the way, she has 12 strikeouts in the circle. So fantastic day here by Megan Nectarline against the Big Reds. Alyssa Bruce, last chance opportunity here for the Big Reds in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Bruce, 2 of those 12 strikeouts. This time she sends it into the right center gap up against the wall. Julia Sandals fires it in, but Bruce with the double. 3rd Big Red hit of the ball game.
Now batting number 12, Pam McDonald.
That'll bring up Cam McDonald, the left fielder, looking for her first hit of the game. Low strike call by our home plate umpire. Another called strike. No balls, 2 strikes the count on Cam McDonald. Nectarline glares down at her play sheet. Comes home with the 0-2 pitch. Second strikeout of the inning. Gives her 13 now in the game. Just dominating. We'll head to the 7th inning with the Cougars in cruise control. They lead it 8-0.
Parents. Many teens mistakenly believe that the THC in marijuana is a safe drug.
They don't know today's marijuana is a highly potent drug and that using it can result in
Harm to the developing brain, learning problems, anxiety and depression, and can lead to addiction.
Talk with your child or teen about the dangers of marijuana use. If you don't talk with them, who will?
So it'll be Katie Rusher to lead things off. Top of the 7th inning. Rusher taking over for Alyssa Balcom at first base. Welcome back to continuing coverage here of girls varsity softball. Brad Fetters for Chippewa Valley Cable Television. Jason Burt, Joe Chapo, my camera operators this afternoon. Rusher lifts one foul. Kylie Phelan coming to bat in the on-deck circle. Short pop-up. Gonna be a tough play in and out of the glove of Vernick. Trying to avoid the collision there with her catcher. Much easier ball perhaps for the pitcher Vernick to come in. Second chance opportunity now for Rusher after they dropped out. A hard shot foul just out of the reach of the third baseman England. Staying alive with that foul ball. If you're looking ahead to the home half of the 7th inning, it'll be 6, 7, and 8. Big uphill climb here for the Big Reds as there's a big fly ball to straightaway center. Stretches over the fence for a solo shot. A home run for Katie Rusher. Extends the Dakota lead to 9-0. Talked about this win this afternoon, just carrying everything out. Third home run of the game offensively for Dakota. Nectarline and Balcom also homered in this ball game. Conference in the circle is over. Kylie Phelan, who took over for Faith Maloney. So leadoff home run off the bat of Katie Rusher.
Now batting number 17, Kylie Phelan.
She lifts one. Left fielder calls off the shortstop and makes the catch. Cam McDonald, first out of the inning.
Number 3, Allison Fluker.
Allison Fluker, one of the starters that has remained in the game for Dakota, will bat. 1 for 3. Fluker strikeout victim in the second. Singled, stole a couple bases, and came around to score in the 4th. And lined out to the second baseman back in the 5th. This one right to the first baseman who makes the grab, Alyssa Bruce. Second out of the inning.
Number 10, Sydney Puffpath.
It'll be Sydney Puffpath. took over for Oltersdorf. Puffpath has one at bat. She popped up to the shortstop. Puffpath looks at a pitch up and out of the zone. Hard hit ball right through the box. Clean single off the bat of Puffpath. Bella Krager, the catcher, her second plate appearance. She flew out to the center fielder, Myrana, in the last inning. Last inning that saw 2 more Dakota runs pushed across. They have been explosive in the second half of this game. They got off to an extremely slow start. Only 10 batters came to the plate through 3 innings. They only had a couple singles through those 3 innings, and then they exploded for 4 runs in the 4th. Couple home runs off the bat of Nectarline and Belcom. 2 runs in the 5th. 2 more runs in the 6th, and now another run here in the 7th. Solo home run by Katie Rusher. 9-0 our score. Called strike. Krager digs in. Grounds one down to third. Across the diamond, dug up by the first baseman, Bruce. Nice play over at first to come up with the 3rd out of the inning. Another run in. Last chance opportunity for the Big Reds. They trail 9-0.
This is a message to raise awareness of the dangers of youth use of alcohol and other drugs. These are some facts about youth prescription opioid medication misuse from the National Institute on Drug Abuse. Teen abuse of prescription opioid medications has declined steadily over past years. However, young adults 18 to 24 are the largest group abusing prescription medication, including opioids, medications prescribed for ADHD, and anti-anxiety medication. Those that abuse prescription opioids are at greater risk of becoming addicted, of negative life and health consequences, of overdose, and death. Prescription opioids are chemically related to heroin. Nearly 80% of people addicted to heroin started first by abusing opioid medications. Teens that misuse prescription medication get it from their friends, from unsecured medication at their home, or from the home of a relative. Lock up, properly dispose, and never share medication. For more information on the abuse of opioid medication, visit drugabuse.gov.
Vernick to lead things off, bottom of the 7th inning. Big Reds trailing 9-0. Gonna need a explosion of an inning here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Nectarline appearing to go the distance here this afternoon and into the evening. "13 strikeouts in the ball game. Pitch misses low. swung on and missed. 2-2 the count. Munson on deck. There's base on balls. First base runner since the 5th inning when Neal reached on an error. This will be Tessa Klein now to bat, taking the spot of Angelina Munson. Snap throw down to first base. Burnick back in with a head first slide. All of a sudden now, Nectarline having a tough time finding the strike zone. She looks to put the finishing touches on what has been a masterful performance in the circle this afternoon. This time she finds the strike zone, fouled away.
First call, Williams. 4x4 relay. First call, Williams. 4x4 relay. Come on down to the start.
Klein takes a look at a strike. And she is the 14th strikeout victim of this ball game. Ella Anglin, 0 for 2. Three hits for Chippewa Valley, a double by Bruce, singles by Neal and Myrana. Big Reds offensively have left 5 on base. Good cut by England, foul ball. High heat. Anglin, a .482 on base percentage. And goes down swinging. 15th strikeout of the game. And that will leave things up to Ariana Neal. Nectarline looks for the 21st out of this game. Misses low. Right down Broadway for a called strike. Nectarline into her windup, misses high. Slams that ball into her glove in frustration. Kicks off the rubber. Ooh, good pitch. Just misses outside the strike zone, according to our home plate umpire. Looks over at her visitor's dugout. Gets the pitch call. Comes home with it. And misses out of the zone. So base on ball, second issued in this inning by Nectarline. And bring us back to the top of the order. Myrana. Big Reds.
Now batting number 2.
Trying to do the near impossible. All with 2 outs in this inning. Myrana 1 for 3. Single and a stolen base, also grounded out and flew out. Outfield defense shaded towards the left field line. Couple runners on now for the Big Reds. Popped up fouled, out of play. Pitch misses low, good block by Krager. Keeps the runners at first and second. And home bench still making some noise, trying to urge their Big Reds on. Myrana slaps one up the middle, second baseman in and out of the glove of the first baseman. I don't know if they would have had the speedy Myrana or not. We'll call it an infield single. It loads the bases now for Rachel Kraus. Big swing of the bat could make this game a little more interesting. Nectarline just digging in deep, pumps home a strike. Paces to the back of the circle. Now gets on top the rubber. Spins the ball in her glove, comes home with it, swung on, fouled away. Big Reds down to their final strike. Kraus, good eye. This time Nectarline pounds the glove twice. Brings home the 1-2 pitch, swung on, cut through, and Kraus goes down swinging. Nectarline ends up striking out the side in the 7th inning, finishes the game with 16 strikeouts to go along with a perfect day at the plate, 3 for 3. She finishes the game with 4 RBI. An unbelievable performance out of the Kent State commit Megan Nectarline, our player of the game. Phenomenal day all around as the Dakota Cougars win this MAC Red game by the final score of 9-0. I'd like to thank our Chippewa Valley Cable Television crew for all of their hard work this afternoon. Big Reds fall to 8-11 overall, 2-5 in MAC Red play. Dakota improves to 17-1 overall, 8-0 in league play. Wish both of our district teams good luck on the rest of the season as these Cougars look to make it back to the state title game. They lost it last season to Allen Park 5-0, but this team looks like they are geared up for another long postseason run. Well, for our hardworking Chippewa Valley Cable Television crew, I'm Brad Fetter saying goodbye one final time from Chippewa Valley High School. Once again, our final score in girls varsity softball. The Dakota Cougars 9, the Chippewa Valley Big Reds 0. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.